Once upon a time, there were two brothers. One was 10 years old and the other was 6 years old. They were not only brothers, they were also best friends, and they would play together every day. All day they played all around their house and all around the village they lived in. They also often ran out of the village to find new games to play, and one particular day, they were so far out of the village, like they had never been before. They were so far out that no one was there to hear or to see what they were doing, and all of a sudden they found a ditch filled with water, not completely around, half full with water. And as they continued to play and run around ditch, the inevitable thing happened, and one of the boy fell into the ditch. It was the older brother, the 10 years old, and as he couldn't swim nor crawl out of the ditch, he started crying and shouting for help. And as the younger brother heard that, he also started shouting for help. But the problem was they were so far outside of the village that there was no one there to hear or see them, so all their crying and shouting was in vain. But all of a sudden, the young boy, 6 years old, he saw a bucket attached to a rope, and he quickly ran and took the bucket and threw it down the ditch while he held on to the other side of the rope. The older brother could crawl into the bucket, and he slowly pulled him up out of the ditch. It took him some time and all of his strength, but he managed, and once the older brother was out, they started laughing and dancing, and they ran back to the village to tell everyone. But then they realized when they would tell the story, the other villagers would be angry with them. How could they run so far away from the village? How could they be so careless and play around the ditch? But to their surprise, when they told the story to the villagers, no one believed them. The villagers said, "How can a 6 years old pull out a 10 years old out of a ditch with a rope? No 6 years old has this strength." The only person who believed them was the village eldest, who also happened to be the wisest man in the village. He congratulated the boys for their courage and wit and for not giving up. And the other villagers, they went to the wise man and asked him, the story is true?" And the village elder said, "The question is not if the story is true or false. The question is, how could a 6 years old could possess the strength to pull a 10-year-old out of a ditch?" And immediately he gave them the answer as well. He said, because there was no one around to tell him that he couldn't do it. No one was able to tell him that it was impossible. And so he did it. You see, in life, in your life, there is this saying, the fool didn't know it was impossible, so he did. If people laugh at someone who's got hog dreams and aspirations, but don't listen to those people, just do it. And if anyone tells too that you can't do it, then remember this story and pretend you don't hear what they say. Be strong in your mind, strong in your